Hello, Cookie here again with another Titanfall video. Now this time we're going to check out the new Frontier's Edge map export. Now this isn't out yet. Respawn has, however, dropped 3 new images just to show us a few of the interiors, a few of the exteriors, and there's also a synopsis that explains how it's going to play as well. Sounds kind of cool. So first of all, here is the official synopsis from Respawn. It goes: overshadowed by a massive armature that controls an offshore lock system for marine transport, export caters to close quarter, house-to-house combat for ground troops. Pilots use this to their advantage by using quick wall hops on the close structures to gain speed and height, then engage enemies from the low rooftops. Titans can lock down sections of the town by leveraging natural choke points and often fight up a steep incline that leads to a commanding view of the town below. It's kind of interesting actually, because if the map is kind of sloping, you can see how, being in a Titan and having a bit of a height advantage can be useful. But let's just have a look at the screens. So the first one you can see here shows a Strider taking on a few Spectres, and interestingly enough, this is quite a wide open area. You don't actually see any of the low rooftops that they're talking about in the synopsis, but you can see this sort of winding staircase in the background that sort of leads up the top of that tower. That could be quite interesting, a good way of getting up and down, a really good sniper spot. And as we saw in Dig Site, if you've watched my video, I discussed that there are a few bits in the background. If you look very closely, there's a lot of elevated sort of pipelines that will be great for snipers. There's a lot of vantage things, like where you have big sheer cliff edges. That would be really good for people to get hunker down, claim a sniper spot. That'd be really cool. So it seems like this map so far and Dig Site, the whole Frontier's Edge thing seems to be going for long range, wide expanses for Titans and sort of closed interiors for pilots to fight in. So that's what I interpret from this one here, is that there's going to be these big wide bits for Titans to fight. And sort of elevated positions for snipers. But let's look at the second image here. Now this is interesting. It looks like a turbine hut. You can see the fans at the top there. This interior would be great for something like hardpoint. I could see a hardpoint console being really cool in this room, with a lot of close quarters exchanges between both sides. You can also, wall hanging might be quite cool in this. If you cloak up and just wait for people to run in, that looks kind of cool. So it seems like outdoors is going to be very much Titan orientated, and indoors are going to be, you won't be too far from another pilot. You're going to be right in each other's faces. So I imagine perhaps that the EVA 8 shotgun is going to really excel, especially in these interiors. Something good for hip firing, like the R97 or the car, that kind of thing. So that this room looks like it's going to be, Arc Mine City, satchel charges, close quarter weapons. It looks like it's going to be quite brutal in there. Let's take a quick look at picture 3. You see a Strider here fighting what appears to be either an ogre. I think it's an ogre. Yeah, it looks like an ogre. Anyway, yeah, this is more like it. So you can see on the left there are like low little rooftops there. There's some freight containers on the right. And again, I think in the synopsis when it talks about choke points, you can see the elevated archway at the bottom of the hill. That's a sort of great bottleneck where like Titans are going to go really close quarters, punching each other, shooting each other close range, sort of trying to outfox each other with their dashes, that kind of thing. Yeah, it looks kind of cool. I don't know if you can get up on top of those pipes though. They look really high. I think they maybe are just like backdrop rather than they're environmental features rather than something you want to actually climb up and use. But I guess it all depends on the slope. If one end is sort of higher than the other, that could really bring in some interesting height advantages. And maybe one team starts at the bottom of the hill, one team starts at the top, and I don't know how that's going to be balanced, by the actual design. Because you have to figure that whoever's at the top has the immediate advantage, the height advantage, and line of sight and such. So it'll be interesting to see how Respawn has dealt with that. But so far, I'm liking the look of this map. It looks I'm not too inspired by the design, but the idea of having a sort of like totally sloped map, that is very interesting. I'd like to see how they handle that with the terrain. But of course this is all speculative because I haven't had hands-on with the map yet. I don't think anyone has outside of Respawn. So it'll be very, very interesting to see once this map pack actually drops how this handles, you know. I think it could be good on hardpoint. I like the idea of having a sloped terrain, you know, people rushing from the top and rushing up from the bottom, trying to fight for each of the 3 control points. That would be quite interesting, I think. But yeah, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment and let's get the conversation started. What do you think Export's going to play like, and are you interested by it from what you've seen from the screens so far? And as always, I've been Cookie. If you like what you see and if you like my other videos, shoot me a subscription and stay up to date with everything as it comes. There's a lot more to happen. So yeah, once again, I've been Cookie. Thanks for watching.